do today. We're gonna learn and play, sing a song and pray. That's right. God really loves us. God really, really cares about you, me, our families. That's right. God's always right there. Woo! Let me fix my curls. You've tuned into Callie's world. That's right, boys and girls. Welcome to Callie's world. Hey everyone, I have the coolest story of ever to share with you tonight.
Time for bed, Callie.
Okay, Dad. I need to tell it to you kinda quick, so I'll make it as simple as 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1. My dad and I were driving home from Ninja Warrior practice, which was so fun. Yeah, hiya! Okay, Callie, focus. Okay, 2. Out of nowhere, a big owl swooped whoosh right in front of the car, and my dad had to put on the brakes fast. And we both watched the owl fly to a tree and land plop on a branch right above us. 3. I was like, Dad, can we please get out and look? And my dad said yes. We got out and looked at the owl, and the owl looked at us. So we kept looking at it, and it kept looking at us. 4. We had a staring contest with an owl. Oh, I guess it was as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, now that we're home, I have some questions. I wonder, is that owl still out there? Maybe it was flying above our car the whole way home, protecting us from the sky. Maybe it's a super owl, and it just wanted us to know it was there. That's why it swooshed down in front of our car. I wonder. I love asking questions about things sometimes. Do you ever wonder? I'm gonna keep wondering while we check out our Bible story.
It's time for today's Bible story, and it comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 39. Joseph was a man who loved God very much. He obeyed God in every situation, and Joseph got into some pretty hairy situations. Now, we already know about the whole bros trading him for money thing. That wasn't cool. But God was watching over Joseph, and even in that situation, Joseph did very well. He became one of his master's most trusted servants. That was until his master's wife told a lie about Joseph. That wasn't cool either. She made up a story about Joseph that his master believed. So Joseph found himself locked up in prison. It was another hairy situation, but God was watching over Joseph even then. So even in prison, he did very well. Soon, he was put in charge of all the other prisoners. It just so happened that the Pharaoh, basically the king of Egypt, got mad at the royal cupbearer and baker and threw them into prison with, guess who? Yep, you got it, with Joseph. Then one night, they both had dreams they couldn't understand. But God gave Joseph a special gift of knowing what dreams meant. For the cupbearer, his dream meant good things. He dreamt about a vine budding with big, delicious grapes. In his dream, he squeezed the grapes into a cup and served them to Pharaoh. Joseph told him the dream meant he was going to get his job back with the Pharaoh. For the baker, his dream meant bad things. He dreamed about having baskets of delicious bread sitting on top of his head. But birds were coming up and eating the bread. Joseph told him the bad news, death. Everything that Joseph said about the dreams came true. Joseph spent 2 more years in prison, but God was still watching over him. Then Pharaoh had 2 dreams that Pharaoh couldn't understand. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembered Joseph and told Pharaoh about him. Joseph was brought to the Pharaoh, and he told Pharaoh what his dreams meant. Now, Pharaoh's dreams were crazy. In one of them, 7 skinny cows ate 7 fat cows. And in the other dream, 7 small dying bushels of wheat ate 7 large, healthy bushels of wheat. Joseph told Pharaoh that the dreams meant that they would have 7 years of a lot of food and 7 years of very little food. So what they should do. They should get ready for the 7 bad years by saving up food during the 7 good years. Pharaoh was so thankful that he put Joseph in charge of the palace. Soon Joseph would be the second most powerful person in Egypt. It was a long journey for Joseph, with a lot of hairy situations. But his story reminds us that no matter what, God watches over us.
Oh! So God is the one who is watching over us. See what I did there? I guess all this talk about owls has me hooing. Can you sound like an owl? Try it with me. Hoo! Hoo! Oh, can you swoosh like an owl? Swoosh! Awesome! You did great. I guess it turns out you guys are the ones who really know your owls. But I'll get to the point. It's super fun to pretend about a super owl who's secretly watching over my dad and me as we drive along. But God is watching over us all the time, and that's not pretend. It makes me feel good to know that God is watching over me. How does it make you feel? Joseph went through some really hard times, but he knew that God was watching over him the whole time. I feel really happy that there's a story like Joseph's in the Bible to remind us that God watches over us. Phew, I'm tired. Gotta go brush my teeth and hit the hay. That's my bed, but I'm not really gonna hit it. I'm just gonna lie on it. Ooh-wee! I'm gonna sleep so good knowing God is watching over me. Thanks for learning and growing with me, friends. Bye!